Okay. Y'all just be patient here. I'm looking to see. Hey, Miss Joan. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, everybody. Okay. Let's just get a few more people in here, okay? Because once I start talking, sometimes I can kind of go on and keep talking. So y'all just be patient with me. And, all right. I want to talk to y'all about something important today. Of course, always, anytime I go live, I've been given some inside information. And what I mean by that is my dad has given me a message to share. Okay, so Cody Bunch, hang tight, okay? And I'm going to share my story with y'all. But just give me a few more minutes to get more people in here. It just keeps me from having to repeat my story and y'all from having to hear it over and over, okay? So just be patient. I usually get about 30 before I start talking. And we're almost there, so just bear with me, okay? I have had a near-death experience, and my father died many, many years ago. I think he died in 2011, so y'all can see how long it's been. But he does give me messages to share with y'all. And sometimes I have to, y'all know I have to sit with those and understand them before I share them. So we need to talk about it, okay? All right, let's get started. My name is Erica, and I'm from Troy. About 10 years ago, I was placed on hospice with a rare, incurable, terminal neurovascular disease. I was fully expected to pass away within 6 months to a year. At the end of that year, when I didn't pass away, I decided to fight with everything I had. I started these new experimental treatments, and that made me healthy enough to carry and deliver a child. At the time of her birth, I lost all the blood in my body and lost my life for over a minute. Now, a lot of things happened in that minute, and I know everyone is interested in a near-death experience to see what it was like. So I'm going to tell you briefly about that, okay? I rose up out of my body, and I saw my husband sitting in the rocking chair. They didn't have time to get him out, so he was witnessing this whole thing. And then I saw lights and shapes and patterns and colors, and I was met by my father in energetic form. He wasn't a physical body. He was just an energy or a spirit, whatever you want to call it. And so when I was met by him, I asked him to show me someone who I thought should be in hell. Because at the time of my death, I held on to this belief system. I grew up in a really rural, conservative Christian area. And I held on to this belief system that there was a heaven and a hell and a God and a Jesus and all of that. So when my father took me to this lower dimension, it was cold and dark and damp and dirty. And it was not what I expected hell to look like. So at that time, I was whisked back up, and then I wanted to see Jesus because I thought he was important. And whenever I was taken to all these ascended masters, is what most people call them here on earth, or ancients, they were all together, and I saw Jesus, and he was not what I expected to see, because the picture on my Mima's wall was a lot different than what I was seeing. And I know that I was allowed to see his physical form so I could have clarification about everything. But I will tell you that all of the ascended masters are full of light and love. And then I was whisked to the highest dimension, seeing more lights. Well, wait, back up. I did have an exit interview, like what I've done with my life and, any pain that I had caused someone else, I was shown that and felt that. And every good thing I done on earth was shown to me. And then I was taken to the highest 15th dimension. And I said, wow, this must be heaven. And the creator of all things, this voice said to me, no, I understand that this is what you think of heaven, but this is actually the 15th dimension. Okay, so, and at that time, if you can imagine 50 computers being up and running and all of the windows open on those, and then all that being transferred to a tiny little card and being implanted right in your brain, and then you have all this knowledge and this understanding that we're all connected. So I want to say this. Every one of us will have a death experience and have had many before. And it is a sacred, beautiful, passionate, loving experience where you realize and see a bigger picture. You see your life and everything that you've accomplished. You feel an overwhelming sense of peace and love and understanding. And so I know that my death experience happened so I could come back and still have this connection to the other side. And when I say the other side, I mean my dad and my team of people guiding me. And so my dad continues to give me dreams and visions and take me places, to meetings so I can understand what's coming in the world and share it with you, because there are some messages that I get that I don't really want to share sometimes, because I think, how can I deliver this in a way that doesn't sound completely crazy? So I am reminded in Greek mythology of Cassandra, who was cursed with telling the truth no matter who believed her. Okay, and I'm going to get to questions, but I just need to talk to y'all about this. So we will all have and have all had death before. And it is a beautiful experience. It is a loving experience. It shows you the importance of connection. And it shows you that we are part of a vast network of Earth. We are Earth. We are love having a human experience. So some of the messages that I have gotten have been a little difficult I'll talk about religion in just a minute. Jesus looked like a dark-skinned Middle Eastern man. The picture on my Meemaw's kitchen was a white, blue-eyed man, and Jesus looked nothing like that. Jesus is not the only figure I want to concentrate on. Okay, listen. I made a video a long time ago entitled "The Fear They Sell." And my dad has shown me some things that I don't know how to talk about. And it feels bigger than myself. But it's not, because I know we're all connected and we can all do this together. I don't want to say it. Okay, I'm going to say it. It's just going to... Y'all know before, if y'all have been with me, that my dad took me to this movie theater and showed me this really horrible movie, right? But then at the end of it, he said, remember, it's not always as it appears. This is a show. You are being shown what to see. And I have talked about the top 5 corporations that hold all the wealth and the power in the world. Less than 1%. Less than 1%. my dad has shown me some things that have really upset me. And I know that he's showing those to me for purpose. I can't prove it yet, but I'm on a mission so I can prove it. Everything, every truth in this universe is about to be revealed. And here's what I know. I want you to be prepared for anything, because some people are not going to be prepared. Some people are not going to be able to handle the truth. Their minds and their hearts are literally going to explode, because all of these people who they have idolized and worshipped are going to be brought to their knees. Our children are not our own. They are on loan from the Creator. And Gerald Auger says this, and now I understand why he says this. Because universal law prevents them from harming our children any further. I'm going to speak this now. And you think about, there is an importance why I'm located in Troy. There is a great poetic justice in this, and the way that I'm being shown. If my dad had not died when he did, he would not have been able to tell me these things, because he had signed so many non-disclosure agreements. Some of you will understand what I'm saying. Some of you will think, well, what can we do about it? Here's what we're going to do about it. We are going to bring awareness and expand our healing to these. This is not just children. This goes beyond children. I'm going to read this poem because it is, my dad was Thomas. And he was one of 11 children. He was a very uneducated man. Or undereducated, I should say, but he was very intelligent. I was identified at the time that I started preschool. And I want you to understand, we lived in abject poverty. There were holes in our floors. There were as many creatures inside as outside. And at the time, I was identified as a gifted child. My father was offered this position where he would be able to take care of his family if he signed these papers. And he would be given a job, so he wouldn't feel like he was taking anything. He was going to have to work in this place, this facility, which is now known as Lockheed Martin. And he saw things. And he was witness to things that sank his heart, that punched him in the gut. And since he's dead, he has been desperately trying to make things right, to fix all of this, because he didn't know that I was one of those children. I had an individualized education plan that I can't explain to you. Anyway, this is the fear they sell. They whisper in shadows. They sow the divide, filling our hearts with the fear they provide. A world split in halves, torn into factions, a game of distractions, of endless reactions. They sell us the stories, the battles they choose. War and disease, but we must lose. But we see through their mask, their hollow lies. They no longer blind to the fear in their eyes. They tell us we're different. They're us and them, that we're not the same. We're not like them. But we feel the truth buried deep in our veins, that their power is built on our shackles, our chains. The wars they ignite, the chaos they breed, are tools for their profit and fuel their greed. But we are the people, we are the light, and no longer will we bow, no longer will we fight. We've seen their incompetence, their hollow cries. We've felt their control, their cold, empty ties. But the walls that divide us are crumbling fast, for unity rises, and we stand at last. We are not your soldiers, the pawns in your game. No longer will we be swayed by your shame. We stand as one, no fear in our hearts, connected as human, no longer apart. The empire you built on lies and disdain is crumbling down. It's starting to wane. For unity is our strength and love is our shield. We rise as a people, no longer concealed. The time has come. We're breaking your spell. We will not be divided. We will not be compelled. For the power of truth, of hearts intertwined, is stronger than fear, stronger than mind. Together we stand, together we'll rise, no longer held captive by what came before. The fear you sowed, the hatred you've spread will fall to the ground and will rise instead. So listen, I don't know how I can say any more than that. I can't say any more than that at this point in time. Because I made 3 promises by keeping the knowledge and coming back to earth this time. I made 3 promises that I would only tell what I knew to be true, what I knew as a fact. And I would not cause fear, and I would not talk about conspiracy theories, even though some of them are true. So a lot of you, I knew that whoever was ready to hear this message would be in this group today, this collective, okay? And this was months ago that I posted this poem, and I asked today for my dad to lead me in this. If you want me to talk about this, if you truly want me to talk about this, then lead me to it. Because I don't know if I can just come out and say what you're asking me to say. And I've told y'all for months that a lot of people will be given dreams and messages, and they will share them before they're meant to be shared. And they are aware of this collective and this movement and this awakening so much so that they are feeding into our web of consciousness little lies, little half-truths. What holds me back from speaking is the fact that I made those promises to not cause fear. And I know that human minds are wired to fear. In the very beginning, it's what kept us alive as a species, but now it no longer serves us. Okay, let me read some of these questions. They're coming in quick, so just be patient. I'm trying to... Okay. Our fear... Thank you, Thomas. Our fear is their power. Our unity and love is our power. So listen, here's what we need to understand. We've talked about this, right? That our reactions are very important. And our time and focus and attention can actually affect outcomes. So the more that we understand this and the more intention that we hold is more powerful. Are they living off our fear? This is one way of looking at it. Our fear keeps us divided and controlled and conquered and in a place of dependency where we feel like we are dependent on this. Without TikTok, how can we keep sharing this info? Which leads me into another talking point. Okay, listen. My dad has also shown me this really important thing where things hang on. We do not need to fear anything, nothing anymore, because fear has kept us in a place of oppression. And I apologize for getting emotional. I really try to hold it together. I realize that this is a collective of people. It's not just me. Some of the things that I sit with are heavy. And I know that my dad is trying to make these. Thank you for that. Fear has no place here. And I'm telling y'all that we have to make a conscious decision. It's easy for me to say, don't fear anything. Death is a beautiful experience. It is beautiful. It's nothing to fear. Even if it is a painful death. I was shown my deaths before. Even if you have like what our human body would receive as a painful death, your consciousness and your awareness leave your body before you feel that. So if you are scared of dying, take that and accept it. Not that you're going to die. Well, we all are. We all will one day. Thomas, let go of victimhood for us not to... okay, look. We have to take back our power. We have to understand how powerful we are as beings. We are more than our physical bodies. This message is not an easy one to sit with. The less than 1% of the population who holds all the wealth and control in the world, not just the states, in the world, all work together, and they have found out a way to cheat, a way to harness our energy and our resources. And I'm being shown this like the earth. We keep taking more and more and more. And the elites, the top people who hold this control and power are using a currency that is not money. They're using a currency between themselves to keep themselves in power and in control. I want you to understand we have the ability to change this, and it is as simple as speaking it into existence. If you observe my voice and you hear me say that we no longer consent to this, our children belong to the earth and the Creator, not to these people. Doesn't matter how old your child is. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. We have to know right now. This is important, okay? I was told this morning that Greek mythology is important, and my placement is part of this, and I need to understand this. So I'm going to tell you this. The elites gave Troy a Trojan horse, right? It was a fake horse, and then they were bombarded and attacked. I'm here now saying, keep your effing horse. I don't want any gifts from you. I no longer consent to what you are doing. We, as a collective, rise above this and know that light and love and peace exist. The earth has never wanted us to have such struggles. The earth has always provided everything for us that we needed. We will not destroy ourselves again because y'all wanted a shortcut. Because y'all didn't want to have to go through the hard work. We are doing the hard work on our part and having all these revelations. And it doesn't matter what they do in darkness anymore. It is all going to be brought to light. You trust me. I need to move to this. Shift and move to this. The show that's created for us and that we are seeing, and even TikTok being removed from us, is part of a show. And there will be people who say that, oh, well, I saved this. Okay? Well, they didn't save anything. It was all part of a show. And I'm telling you something about, if y'all haven't heard me speak before, and this is the first time, yes, they are trying to distract us. There's something, too, about our reaction that's important. Because when we react, they gain back power and control. You need to be very mindful of your reactions. And it's easier said than done. They're going to be... Okay, Thomas, help me. I said earlier about... They are creating problems so they can be the solution to our problem, but in fact, they are the whole problem. There we go. I think I said it just right. You should react out of love. Transmute every freaking thing that you fear. Accept it right now in your heart. I did a live yesterday where I talked about, and I read part of my journal whenever I was on hospice. And I was terrified. I wasn't terrified, but I was scared of dying. And I was scared of leaving my children behind. And whenever I accepted that fear into my heart, not as my own reality, but just the feeling, all the feelings. When I accepted those feelings, I transmuted them and transcended that. So it no longer controlled me. The fear of dying did not make me die. I did not accept that as my reality. We are stronger than we have been told. Believe it. The tracks are very clear. Thank you, message received. Yes, thank you, Miss Joan, for that. Look, we all have to continue to choose this. It's not a one and done, I revoke consent. You may be tempted sometime to go back and think, oh, well, that looks nice. I think maybe they tied a nice little bow on it, so maybe I'll go back. Nope. It's got to be a choice. And we don't even realize the power that we hold. Some of y'all will hear me and see me today. And some of y'all will come back to this message in a few months and realize everything that I'm saying. I can't tell you enough today No matter what is done in darkness, everything will be brought to light. There will be attempts to cover it up, but there are thousands of people just like me working tirelessly behind the scenes, up all night, talking to our ancestors, crying out to our ancestors to show us the way. And we have been placed here for this moment and this time to share time and space with you. We've been so far removed from everything that we should be observing and watching. Nature, each other. We were never made to be removed from one another. Each time we have done that, we have destroyed humanity. And this time, another tribe is here to help. And they are not one. It's a collective of people who are on the same channels, getting the same messages and understanding and knowing that we have the power to take this back and transmute any fear into love and transmute our pain into power. We are not victims in this. I want to make that clear. There are no more victims. There are no more martyrs. We have to write new stories. We have to have a new beginning. It's not meant for us to forget the past. It's just meant to go forward and write new stories and a new history and future. This moment, this time, this awakening will be referred to as the Great Awakening in the Pleistocene era. As I watch the wind now, I know that the winds of change are blowing. And I was raised in a Pentecostal church, so, like there's the song, The Wind is Blowing Again. So, and it talks about the change coming in. We do not have to accept the things that are not of our highest good. We don't have to just settle. The fact that y'all are all still here with me and listening to this gives me hope and gives me strength to keep talking, because I asked this morning, how can I share this message in a way that doesn't create fear and that does not make me sound like a total lunatic? But a lot of you have shared time and space with me before, and I appreciate that. I love and honor each of you and know that we are all connected and that we have the power to change this and bring all the darkness to light. We are doing that now with each other. I claim this new earth full of light and love and peace. Not just here, but all over the world. I claim a world where we can afford food and where we can afford housing. Where we were all valued for our skills and our knowledge and not how much money we have in the bank or what kind of car we drive or what kind of clothes we wear. I'm speaking it now as a collective group of people that we can take this and know that everything has to happen exactly like it does in order for this new earth to happen, for this to be in existence. All of the light and all of the peace could not be ushered in without millennia of darkness. It's time. Okay, if this is so vague. Okay, let me answer questions. This is happening now. We are speaking this into existence. And if it feels too vague for you, then come back and watch it when things are shown to you, when you see it on the news, and come back to me. And then all the people who have been idolized, and all the people we thought were going to be our saviors, nobody is going to be your savior except you. I have been careful not to offend anyone, and I've been careful on this journey so far to keep my promises, that I wouldn't cause fear, that I wouldn't go into conspiracy theories, and I would not speak anything that wasn't true. So here's the truth and the takeaway. We're not victims. We're more powerful than we even know. We have the power to change this and accept this new world. And, okay, saving yourself. You can't, yes, thank you for this. When we go back to heal past traumas, that makes us bigger. That makes us take up more space. So if you go back and heal yourself, that healed version of yourself takes up more space. Time is not linear like you think of it. Time is everywhere all at once and everything. Time is another construct. Okay, talk is not doing anything for a change. Okay, well, I want you to just go back. If you hold intention in your heart and the healed version of yourself where you've accepted and love yourself as much as you love others, then your words are powerful and they hold the ability to transform. I have touched the ancients. I have come back with my story and my message. And look, I have had a lot of things happen along the way, so I could be in this time and this space to share my story. It's only a story. It's only the truth. You can take it and use it for your own life, or you can choose to just forget it and think, I don't understand that. When you speak things into the atmosphere, my dad showed me this web that is over our sky, like these little, it looks like kind of like a spider web. And he showed me this recently, that this collective consciousness, this awakening, all these messages are coming out here because people are speaking this into existence. And then because the people in control and power are aware of this movement, they have trickled things into these webs, because there's a reason that on the other side of the world, they were using the same tools, but separated by an ocean. This goes back to like the Clovis. And then on the other side of the world, you can see the same tools, but they're completely separated. They have no connection, but it's because the idea was spoken and it was out there to grab onto. And that may be too far stretched for some of y'all, but it's true. What you say matters. Your intention matters. Your internal dialogue matters. All of it matters. It's important. And the reason that you don't think it is because you were taught to believe that. You need to forget everything you were taught to believe. These belief systems are no longer serving our highest good anymore. Thank you. Look, it's important we understand, we haven't addressed the hair situation. So, anyway, that's not important. It's just hair. Listen, this is bigger than me. This defies politics. This defies anything else that has been created to separate us. This awakening, this movement is important to hang on to. I am hopeful. And I'm aware that when you look around, you have, if you're looking to the media or you're looking to just things going around and things that you're shown, it can be a moment where you have lost all hope and you think how everything's falling apart. But let me tell you something that my dad used to say to me. Sometimes things fall apart, fall into place. You just got to keep on trucking. And so today, that is what I know. Sometimes things fall apart to fall in place. And all of this, what we're being shown, is a show. Thank y'all for the kind words. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so the ones that enslaved us are still alive and in power. Yeah, but it's not gonna be that way for much longer. And the reason I know this is because I'm shown this. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I have been shown this timeline. It's here. And I know, like, sometimes it's beyond me to talk about these 3 timelines because I know they are running concurrently and consecutively with one another, but they're all merging together into one. And this is because enough people have chosen to revoke consent from the things that no longer serve their highest good. When you choose the highest good for yourself, you choose it for everything else, even the earth, because we are all connected. We are a vast system. If you think about how scientists have just proven that trees communicate underground through a vascular system, that is amazing. They can tell each other when one of them is hurt and they need more energy and strength. We are that. We are connected. The science will prove this one day. And I've been shown that consciousness is something that scientists will understand, and past lives are something that they will never tell us about, because then they can't keep us separated. If we have an understanding, look, this is just like the whole TikTok ban and how there was an agreement made. It doesn't matter. There will be problems that are going to be created so that someone can swoop in and say that they're a savior and they saved the day. And they're the solution. But they're the whole problem. I'll keep saying that. That's the phrase I'm given. There will be people who create a problem so they can be a solution, but they are the whole problem. One more time. So let me just say this one more time. My dad is saying, say it again for the people in the back. Okay. There will be people who create problems so they can be the solution, but they're actually the whole problem. And this, look, it's up to us. It is up to us. No one is going to save you. You have to be your own savior. And you are made, a lot of these comments and questions are being hidden. I'm sorry. Our Creator is the only Savior. Look, and the Creator of all things made us to create the reality that we want. He made us to be creators. I said he, but this is a non-binary creator. Sorry about that. I misspoke. Thank you for that, for knowledge. Yes, when we collectively stop fearing and reacting. Okay, so a lot of y'all, I was so worried about this message. And it seems like so many of you already have this, like, understanding that it's happening. Okay, will disclosure be soon? I don't know what you mean by that. I have said before that, I'm reading comments, y'all. There's lots of them, and they come in all at once. Okay, let's talk about disclosure. What are you wanting disclosed? Like, the whole history of our time and what has been happening? Yes. There will be attempts, and I've been saying this for months. There will be last desperate attempts to conceal. There will be last attempts made to hide. And there will be another attempt to try to divide and keep us in a place of fear. And as long as we don't choose that, then we can move forward and have all of the answers that we ever wanted. A lot of people want to know those answers. They want to know, but listen, I'm telling y'all that some of us are not ready for the answers. Some of us are not. And what I mean by that is that you will be, when the truths come out and are revealed, which they will be, a lot of people will be in shock and disbelief and wonder how that could have happened. So that's why I'm telling you, your reaction is important, because if it creates more fear and more division and more chaos, then it's going to keep the movement from being fully successful. So how do we do that? How as a person can we not fear or not react when we see something? Okay, I'm taken back right now to my Meemaw, who had 11 children during the Great Depression. Okay, there was a reason that my Meemaw did not know that there was even a Great Depression on. I always thought that it was because she was too poor to even know. But not only that, it's because she was focused on herself and her family. And that got her through without any problem. So that's what I'm saying. We all need to just focus on ourselves and healing. Thank you for this. And you have to realize, yeah, my Meemaw did create her own reality. That's for sure. She didn't pay attention to the world around. And that's what I'm saying. We can't right now. It's incredibly important. And I know y'all are probably tired of me playing the same record. But there is a reason that I have said this over and over and over again. It is incredibly important right now what we consume and how we remain connected. And y'all know that I've told y'all, there are different people. There are 4 different tribes. There are 5 now. We all have different ways that we connect. And some of us walk. Some of you can sit down and meditate. And that's great if you can do that. Some of us have to paint. Some of us draw. Some of us create things. Some of us need to drive around and listen to music. But the music that you intake is incredibly important. Consume less. Okay, so Erica said, I've been here and I'm still lost. Okay. So, I can talk about the 5 tribes. In the beginning of the earth, there were 4 original tribes. And they came from 4 different directions. And they all came together. And then, through differences, they separated. They didn't realize that they were meant to celebrate each other's differences. They didn't realize that they were supposed to stay connected, because when they connected, they formed a complete circuit. So each time they separated and divided, they destroyed humanity and the earth. But the earth revives, and she always abides. But each time this happened and separated, then they when they became separated, they disconnected the complete circuit. But each of them had different things that would help the other tribe survive. So now, each time that they've destroyed humanity, this 5th tribe is a hybrid kind of person that is part of all of the 4 original tribes, but they also come from a star system. So they are part of a star system and the 4 original tribes that are on Earth. And they are desperately trying to save humanity and unite them so we don't do that again. And listen, if this message is not for you, then it will be one day. You'll come back and you'll see that after everything is revealed, then you'll say, oh yeah, she was, and that's okay. It's like the body of Christ. Each piece is important. Each piece holds up the other, not separates. Thank you for that. Yes, this is exactly it. We are all creators of our own reality. We are all connected. So what does that mean for the people that we're connected to, that we see that they're using this cheat system to harness and control us? So what does that mean? It means that since we are all connected, we have the ability to control and affect that. I hope y'all understand that. If y'all can understand, look, a few days ago, I asked my dad and the council. I went to them and said, what universal law can help me right now? What do I need to be focused on? What is going to help me with all this information that I've been given? And I got an answer. The law of interconnectedness. So if we are all connected, then that means that we have the ability to send this message into the atmosphere and the ether, if you will, the web. And people can pull from that. And it doesn't matter if they repeat your idea. I want people to repeat this. I want y'all to tell it. Because somebody tagged me and said, I hope you don't mind I retold this in my own words. Well, I need y'all to. Because this is important. Y'all tell it in your own words. I made a video months ago about how we're all in different parts of the world. Because when, excuse me, lack of better words, when shit hits the fan, or when it looks like it hits the fan, and people are like chaotic and crazy, then there's going to be a person who has been prepared for this, and they're going to come to you and look for you for guidance and help, because they're not going to know what to do. So we all speak, even though we're probably all in America. I don't know if anybody else is outside of the States, but listen, all of us on Turtle Island need to understand that when that time happens, we have all been strategically placed so that we couldn't be an easy target. Okay? So I may say, I'm not going to talk about vibrational frequency to my neighbors. I'm going to have to say, look, we have pissed the earth off and we need to get right. We need to give back. And that's going to be my message. It's not going to be about raising your vibration. It's going to be about healing ourselves and licking our wounds. So we all have different language. We all have different phrases that we use. And they're all important, because the next Buddha, the next Krishna, the next movement is not going to be one person. There's not going to be a martyr or a sacrificial lamb anymore, because that doesn't do anything. It never creates sustainable change. This is a collective. Okay, I'm reading. Okay, so y'all are telling me truth. So many of y'all are agreeing with me and understand this. So this is how I know that everything that I speak out into the world, you are hearing. And if you choose to speak it, it grows. It's like, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know. It's like, I keep being shown. My podiatry background is coming in strong, and it's like a planner's wart. Like that virus can be somewhere and not even be seen. Like you can't see a virus, but it spreads like the wildfire, doesn't it? Y'all know I'm right. And if you've ever had a planner's wart, you know it can spread throughout your house. It can spread if you go to the swimming pool and you're walking around barefoot, it can spread like that. And so I know these ideas and this mission and this purpose and this message is something that can spread just by existing here. Okay, look, I want to address this. When we remember who we truly are, we open the door to heaven, and that lets light into our world. Okay, so look, I love this comment because this is so true. We have been given this false narrative of a prison planet. Okay, that's not true. This is the ultimate university. We have, whether you remember it or not, we have all agreed to come here and sign up for this space and this time. And when you are authentic and when you are real with yourself and you're real with others, then that creates something, and your whole world, your whole reality shifts in a way that I can't even explain. You have to experience it to feel it, and it is heaven on earth, where you cut off the outside world. I haven't watched, well, that's not true. I have watched TV because my daughter wanted to watch Daniel Boone. She's 3, by the way, and she is like a little old grandma. She eats pickled beets and watches Daniel Boone, and she's something else. But anyway, I'll tell y'all that when you choose to stop letting all that negative into your life, and you make a choice and a conscious decision to know that no matter what it looks like, everything's working out for your highest good, and the universe is conspiring in your favor, then your world will change. It is magical. It's powerful. And y'all need to realize that and take it back. Call it back. We've done the consent revocation. If y'all haven't and want it, message me. But know that it's not a one and done. It's not a magic wand. It's a choice every day that we have to choose. You have to have an intention behind it when you say it. And you have to have an observer. So if you're doing this revocation by yourself, then ask that one of your ancestors be present with you. Simple as. You know, we've been made, hey, Miss Rose, so we've been made to think that we can't connect with our ancestors, or like all these diagnoses and these mental illnesses and this ADHD and this autism, and I'm not saying that none of it's real, but these are all gifts, and we've been made to think that they're not gifts, because I remember the day that I went. This doctor has been a friend of mine for many years, my doctor. And after my death experience, I was experiencing what I thought were hallucinations, and the audio, whatever they call them, because my dad was talking to me. And I remember going to him and I said, look, I'm going to be real with you. I'm hearing dead people talk to me, and I think I've had brain damage. And I remember at that point, like, telling him even that I felt like I was connected to the trees, and I was really worried about myself. And he looked at me and he said, I will do scans, but that may be a gift that you have received. A lot of times after near-death experiences, a lot of people come back with this heightened awareness. So we did a scan. I didn't have brain damage. And then he told me to accept it as a gift. So I did that. But I'm going to tell y'all, in the beginning, I did not think that was a gift. I thought I was losing my mind. I thought I've gone crazy. So what I'm saying is spiritual psychosis and mania and ADHD, all these diagnoses that have been placed upon people for the last 30 years, and they've been trying to push medicines and advertise medicines, that is diluting your gifts and your awareness and your purpose. And I don't want to say purpose, because I feel like that's another construct of the system that I'm speaking against. I know that we are meant to work together. And when we replace words, when we change our language even from competition to collaboration to from fear to excitement, it can change so many things. Okay, I'm reading comments here. Okay. Weird question. Does Earth benefit from us giving her our moon blood as an offering of love? Okay, let me say this. The Earth does not need our blood. She needs our awareness placed back on her. She needs our understanding, and she needs us to offer her gifts of love. And how you can do this is be aware. Like, be aware of your consumption. Be aware of what you take from the earth and what you give back to her. Is it just trash that you're giving her? Or can you go out and give your tree a hug? The moon, if you are feeling like you need to give something to the moon, then give her gratitude. Tell the moon thank you for all that the moon does. And the moon is powerful. So I'm going to say that the moon is aware of us, and we don't need the true healing of earth is already happening. The earth is healing herself. And you and I both know that healing sometimes can look very ugly on the outside. It can be a crying fit, it can be sobbing, it can be anger, it can be lots of things. But then once we accept that and heal, then we can move on. Trees do communicate. Yes, this is true. Words are important and can change your chemistry and vibration. Yes. Okay, I'm looking over comments again. Just be patient with me. How many souls are there if reincarnation is real? Okay, this implies a limit. I want to say this. Okay, this is interesting because I don't think of them as souls. I think of it as energy. And energy is everywhere. Frequency is everywhere. I know that I was shown some patterns and things that I still don't know what they mean. So I'm not going to answer that because I don't know. And I don't answer questions that I don't know. Reincarnation is real. I know this because I was shown my past lifetimes and I was given a download for this lifetime. So this is my next life that I'm on because I did die. And, you know, I know at the end of this lifetime, I was told that I would die and then I would have a choice because of my life path number, which I knew nothing about life paths. But because of my life path number, 9 through 11, you can choose to stay a part of a spirit team, kind of a spirit team, a God team, or you can reincarnate as another being on earth, or you can choose to go to a different plane or a different planet, or so there's lots of options whenever, depending on what life path you are, and as long as you have learned all the lessons that you were supposed to learn on the planet, then, and you don't have any more contracts. There's so many stipulations in there. But as long as you've done all the things that you need to do on Earth and you are done, then you can move on. You don't have to be a human again. You can be a tree, and a lot of our elders have reincarnated as trees. They're sentient beings. They hold awareness and consciousness. I have a favorite tree that I feel like is a grandmother to someone. She's a pecan tree, and she has an elderberry bush nestled in her root system, so she feels extra special. Hey, Georgia Peach. I'm out of the hospital. I'm doing okay. Conspiracy Kaleidoscope. Will you message me after this, please? You just said something that I need to talk to you about. Or call me. Do you have my phone number, maybe? Linda says, I was given a choice. I was told I didn't want to come back here. and I chose to come back. You know, so this is interesting too. Like, I think whenever I first got back in my body, I thought, well, not when I first did. I was grateful when I first did. And then a few weeks after that, I had a new life around me. I had a newborn, and I thought, why did I have to come back here? You know, like, why did I choose to come back? And now I know that it's so I could show unconditional love and prepare people and help and hold time and space for people to heal and offer them the same unconditional love and unwavering support that I felt in my experience. What about the ones waking up who didn't have an NDE? Okay, so it's really irrelevant how you got to the point of awakening. And a lot of you, whether you realize it or not, many of you had an NDE during your sleep. Like, I was shown this by my dad. Like, a lot of people have been, while they were sleeping, they had an experience in a different reality or dimension that made them wake up. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the only way I can explain it. Okay, I'm reading comments. They come in quick. I was given this choice before my birth. It's a memory I've had my entire life. This is so interesting. My daughter, who's 3, Olive, told me about her casket and, or no, she called it a coffin. No, she did say coffin. And she said, she told me about her coffin, and she told me about seeing me and picking me again. So she's been aligned with me before, and she's also been a mother before. She tells me all this stuff, and I realize a lot of people can pass this off as overactive imagination, but I know that she's been here before, and maybe she was my mother at one point. I don't know. Okay, thank you, Miss Joan. I love this. My little one smelled my sourdough starter and said, oh, it smells like the old days. That's so cool. Yeah, I know. Look, you know, Dr. Bruce Grayson at the University of Virginia has spent his entire adult career taking information from near-death experiences and also studying children who have specific memories of a near-death experience or a past life. So a lot of Dr. Grayson's work is just taking these and recording them and trying to find some kind of similarities between them all. And so I recorded my death experience with him. Okay. I had a husband. Has anyone told you your aura is extremely big? Sorry if it's creepy. Okay, yes, I actually have been told that before, and I can, you know, do you see it? Tell me what color it is. Is it yellow and white to you? Because that's what I was told, and I'm not big into auras. I've never been interested in them, but I do know that they can It's not creepy at all. I have earbuds in and suddenly the oceans, birds, and native flutes started playing with you. I love that. Yellow and white. Okay, yeah, I've heard that too. You'll have to tell me. Y'all have to tell me. Look, I know what I'm saying is some of you will just understand what I'm trying to say. Some of you will know exactly what I'm meaning. And then others will need to see it fall apart before they can see what I'm saying to be true. But I just want y'all all to know that no matter what happens, don't react, don't fear. No matter what it looks like, don't react, don't fear. And remember that, okay, my dad is just being annoying with this. And remember that there will be people who create problems so that they can be the solution, but they are the whole problem. We will be safe. Look, you're going to be safe because half of it, more than half of it, is just a big show. And the things, okay, I'm going to say this. If you message me after this and get a consent revocation, you haven't done that yet because I know you've just been in here twice and we were past that. But if you go back to some of my lives before on YouTube, we as a collective hold this intention where we revoke consent. And why I do this is because my dad showed me that things sometimes are done unknowingly. And I want y'all to be prepared for anything, okay? I want you to understand that things that will come out, okay? Yes, okay, this needs to be discussed. My dad gave me a dream, and this was confirmed because I was aligned with someone who had a similar vision. My dad told me that there would be things in our sky, and we did not need to fear them. And they were called, he said that it would be A-19, and that the A-19 would look like a F-22 Raptor. And that when a photographer photographed the drone, it looked completely like that, except flat. And so he said to me that the ancients will protect us, and they have been watching us for thousands of years with distant grace. I have all this on my page. Sorry if y'all don't want to do the digging in the work of trying to find it. It's okay, but just know that everything I've said, everything I've posted will be relevant. And you can see the messages after that, okay? So, the things that are being made to keep us scared or divided, they're being created for us. It's a big show. So, when you share time and space with us as a collective and me, I go into each friendship and each discussion with great intention. And I imagine a layer and a hedge of protection around each one of you and a healing light. I can't offer that to myself, but I offer it to all of you. And I want you to know that because I love each of you. And I know that sometimes when people tell you that, it can feel insincere or like they're just saying that. But I truly love each of you because you are an extension of me. We are we. I am you, you are me, we are we. And that's the most important thing I think we can all remember. So if you have chosen to not fear or not react out of fear, and you chose to transmute and transcend that, then you're going to be fine. You're going to be okay. I don't know. Thomas, are you still here? Have I missed anything? Okay, so why can't you offer that to yourself? I always ask for a hedge of protection. Is that wrong? I have a different layer. I have a different layer. Will it be weeks, months, or years before we see the big ones posted over water? Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, I'm getting questions that I don't know, Thomas. Have I missed something that I need to be going over? I do not know a time limit because I'm going to tell you why. I've been shown different timelines, and I know that on earth free will still exists, and there are an infinite number of variables that can go into any of these things in any of these timelines. So that's why I'm saying it's so important what we choose. And you think sometimes, maybe some of you are thinking, well, like, how can I choose a timeline? But it's as simple as revoking consent and not agreeing to anything that doesn't serve your highest good. Do we shift timelines individually or collectively? This is interesting because the new timeline is already here. New Earth is there. It's tangible. It's within. It's here. Some of us are already living in it and talking to you saying, hey, choose this, choose this. And the timelines merge together eventually. Okay, Thomas, thank you. We can change things too by speaking out against them. Prevention, yes. Okay, so are you saying that even you and I could be on separate timelines? Yes, I'm saying that. So time does not exist like we think of it, because time was a construct and a measurement. But time actually exists. I can't even explain it. It's not linear. It's not like we think of it. Did you okay, Christy, did you mention religion or judgmental religious people? Okay, listen. We have to, hey, Korean, let's see. Okay, I'm going to tell you, all religion has a common point of origin. And each one of those has a person to follow. Whether we look at Buddha or Mohammed or Jesus. And what happens is, if you think about source, creator, way up here, and then a religion being created and branching off from the creator, and then it leaves a prophet here, or a y'all know what I'm saying. So that's one step removed from the creator or ultimate source. And then all of these followers are going to this prophet to seek this greater connection to source. When if, in fact, we just went to source itself, we would cut out the middleman and not have this go-between where we ultimately finally just run out of resources. You have to choose you have to choose direct communication with the creator of all things, or source, whatever name you need for it. Some people say God or source or creator. This is a problem with the English language, because once again, it divides us. Because if I say something that offends you, you immediately shut it off, or you don't want to hear it, because as humans, we're designed to listen and confirm what we want to hear or what we think. Think of it as your child. My child directly communicates with me, her parent. Thank you for that analogy. That's a good one. So, when we take out that middleman, then we have a direct line, a direct connection. So here's what I think we need to know, okay? Religion, at one point, all of the ascended masters are ancients, or what y'all might call aliens, okay? And they have chosen to reincarnate time and time again to try to save humanity. And they are here now on Earth. They look just like me and you, okay? But there will be something familiar about them. And you'll know that they speak with truth and intention and love and light and all the things that you need in your life. And so I don't like the language. I can't jump on board to say that they're chosen ones or star seeds, because again, the language kind of puts someone above you, and we're all connected. We're all interconnected. And so it's so important that we know that. There's not going to be one person leading this, because leaders falter and promises wane. And again, just all of this is so important, because you need to be prepared. You need to understand that there's some people who are really trying to help and really get this important message out. And it's up to you to choose that message and that timeline and that reality. Listen, the chosen ones, or the star seeds, or the 144,000, that's been misunderstood too. It's something else that divides us, and we can't do that. And the way that you prepare, the only way you can prepare, is accepting your feelings, feeling your feelings, feeling all the ones, even the hard ones, even the ones that knock you to your knees, even the ones that hurt. You have to heal yourself. Healing is not easy, or everyone would choose to do it. You have to go through it to get through it. You have to hurt to heal. And okay, let's see. That's the only way you can prepare. And to live, you consume less and connect more. Connect with people. Connect outside of social media. Connect. Consume less and connect more. Create more. Offer yourself the same amount of love and compassion and grace that you offer so freely to others. And know, Mr. Rogers' mom told him, look for the helpers. There will always be helpers in the world. And this is something that I can't say enough, that there are helpers in the world. Don't run from emotions. Is that what shadow work is? Hey, Miss Jeannie. Yes. Okay, look. I'm going to say this. What is a shadow? A shadow exists by blocking light. So the thing that blocks your light is trauma, past traumas. And when you go back in time to heal whatever it is that has hurt you, whatever you feel like is still there that you may be hanging on to. Whenever you go back to heal that, that creates an expansion of yourself. And that creates you to take up more space as a healed version of yourself. Thank you, Alyssa, for that. Thank y'all for your kind words. I appreciate y'all. We are taught to pray to Jesus. Are we supposed to pray directly to God? Okay. If you want to pray, then yes, pray to the creator of all things. Pray to the universe. Pray to your Mother Earth. Pray to your ancestors. You've been taught that that's wrong, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Forget everything that you've been taught to believe. It is keeping you separated from the source. It is keeping you divided from other people. It's keeping you in a state, like when you hang on to a belief system, and like I know this because I was deep in it at one point. I truly believed in God and Jesus, and I thought that there was a heaven and a hell until I saw different for myself. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what word, it's the intention behind it. It is, if you need a word for it, which there are no words, the English language is insufficient to describe the creator of all things. So you have to know that if you pray or if you meditate, whatever works for you, or if you walk or if you paint, it doesn't matter how you do it. If there's somebody telling you that there's only one way to do it, then they're wrong, because there are 5 different tribes on earth now, and we all work in very different ways. We all connect in very different ways. And that's why I'm saying it's so important to not be divided anymore. Because when we come together and when we collaborate instead of compete, when we collaborate instead of compete, we form that complete circuit. That's the energy. The collective's message can be so confusing. Thank you for that, because it can. Look, hell and heaven are a state of mind. You can live in hell whenever you choose to think everything is happening to you. You will be in a literal hell, because you will think, why is everything happening to me? Or you can be in heaven when you choose to accept that everything is happening for your highest good. Everything's happening exactly like it needs to. Because I'm going to give you a for instance. The other day I walked out, and my 17-year-old daughter had borrowed my car, and she locked the keys in the car. I was a little annoyed, and I came in and I was like, really, you locked my keys in my car? I'm going to have to take your car. So I took her car to town, and then I messaged her on the way back, and I was like, sorry if I was frustrated. I was just running late. And then I got home, and as I pulled into the driveway, I saw a huge puddle of oil underneath my car. And so I realized at that moment I was being protected, because had I made the choice to go ahead and try to figure out how to unlock my car and drive it, I probably could have blew the engine up. So that's what I'm saying. In that moment, had I spiraled, then it could have been easy for me to think, this is happening to me. Like, she is just out to get me. But instead, I then saw that I was being protected in a way that I didn't understand at the time. So you have to say, everything is happening for me. Even the bad, hard things. Hello, Angie from North Carolina. I was not raised in church, but I was also devastated to find out I was lied to. Do you believe that Jesus died for our sins, or that Jesus is not your Savior? You are your Savior. And look, I know that this is not easy to take on, because it's a lot easier when you can give your problems to somebody else. But whenever you take them on your own and know that you have to do it, you have to create the reality that you want. You have to create your world and what's important to you, and you have to save yourself, because nobody else is going to do it. There will be people who think that a president is going to be your savior, or who think that this billionaire is going to be a savior. But I'm telling y'all now that they are the problem, because the systems that have been set up to make us believe that we need them, that they can save us from things, are coming from the problems that they created. So I will say this one more time, because my dad's telling me to. There will be people who create the problems so they can be the solution, but they are the whole problem. Y'all mark my words on that. That's important. Okay, so Jesus is a beautiful man, and he was an ascended master. And he sat with about 1,000 other ascended masters. And after my death experience, I did this deep dive into religion and philosophy, and trying to figure out what I was shown and what I saw. And so I know now that Jesus was part of a collective of people who had ancient wisdom and knowledge, who came to the earth to try to help people evolve, to help save humanity. And Jesus, on the day that Jesus was crucified, I was taken to that spot at one point, and I saw that hundreds of other people were crucified by the Romans that same day. So the person that was with Jesus saw an opportunity to market this story and profit from it and gain power from it. I'm careful when I say that, because I know what that's like to hang on to that. Okay, so Jesus is coming soon and prove you wrong. Okay. Thank you for praying for me. I hope you pray for truth. And look, I met Jesus, and I know Jesus. And I know that he is ticked off at his children right now, because his message was the exact message that has been used to profit off of him. And his message was this: love yourself, love your neighbors. Don't pay anyone for your connection to your Creator. And you are a powerful being made in the Creator's image. So let me take you to church today. I'm preaching. Jesus was an ascended master, just like Buddha, just like Muhammad, just like Mary. There are thousands and thousands of them. And they are on this earth again. Okay. All right, it's okay. I know not everybody's ready for it. I know that not everybody's ready for it. But there will be people who need to hear this, and y'all are going to be prepared for it. You're going to know that no matter what happens, if you hold your power and your truth, and you take back your power and don't look outside of yourself for someone to hear you, save you. A president cannot save you. A billionaire cannot save you when they have been the ones who have cheated, who have stolen. I have held time and space, and I will continue to do that. And I can't say it enough. Thomas, please tell me if I'm covering everything. We were created to love each other, to help each other, to learn on earth what it was like to be human, to have a human experience. And it's so important that you understand and you know that a hawk just flew by my window. I know I'm okay. Confirmation again. There's some important things that are fixing to happen. Some big things. And you may not see them. You may not be allowed to see them because they're not going to want to be reported. And I'm telling y'all, thank you for that. You are an expression of the divine. We are all here for this time and this space to bear witness to what is about to create new earth. Okay, this is the fourth question. I need to address this. Is the Dr. Greer to be trusted? He's coming out with some big disclosure in 72 hours. Look, I don't know who that is, but listen, there are a lot of things on the earth that have happened. My dad saw a lot of them where he worked, and there was nothing he could do about it. Nothing he could do about it because he had signed all these non-disclosure agreements. There are things that you need to understand. What y'all call aliens are ancient people. They're just a future version of yourself, and they have come here to try to help humans. And had they ever wanted to do anything, it's only to help humans evolve past a point of intolerance of each other. We are made to celebrate each other's cultures and our differences. We're all made to connect with each other. Is this about aliens or something? That's what I'm feeling. Is this what you're talking about? Somebody tell me who Dr. Greer is. Dr. Green, Dr. Greer. Stephen Greer. So is it about aliens? Okay, so look. He's saying that they are here and they are here to help. Okay, if he's saying that, then I'm with him. Okay, look. So here's what y'all need to be prepared for. I don't think that this is important. I think this is a distraction. So there are people here who are hybrids, or they'll be described as hybrids. They are part of the 4 original tribes on Earth and part of a distant star system. They are not to be feared because they have been here for thousands of years watching us with distant grace. There's a poem that I wrote about my dad, The Daughter's Last Flight, and he gave that to me, and he said that weapons bound for foreign lands were shaped by his hands, and they would be used against us. So here's my take on the drone situation. The drones are our own. The orbs that people are seeing are part of the ancients that are trying to keep these from being used against us. Okay. And if you want to know about aliens, they are ancients. They're nothing to be feared. Okay, so Suzanne, disclosure project. He is warning about the fake alien invasion that Werner von Braun warned about. Okay, so I'm with this. I'm down with this because I have seen on y'all remember I told y'all my dad took me to the movie theater and set me down and showed me all this chaotic mess of a movie. And there is actually somebody in Hollywood who is saying one bad movie, and I think he's seen everything that I've seen. And he knows that it's part of a show. So, I don't know if any of you have ever been to the Sphere, but in Las Vegas, but the shows that happen there are such a unique experience because it really feels like it's happening within that existence. So they have technology that looks real. I mean, it's not a far stretch that any of us can imagine that. So y'all need to understand that reactions, fearful reactions, give them something as far as control. We no longer consent to that. We are moving forward and moving past that. It no longer serves our highest good. Okay, Becky, listen, I think a lot of people, do you believe that Jesus is God and that God is a Trinity? Here's what I know. I will speak to only what I know. I know that each of us are made to create. I know that language can get in our way. I know for a fact that we get caught up in language all the time. And if someone says one thing that our minds don't agree with, then we shut that off. We are extremely hardwired to search for confirmation biases. And I can only speak to what I know. I know that Jesus was one of the ascended masters that there are thousands of. And that he was trying to help save humanity and help humans evolve. And telling people that they didn't need to pay for a connection to the Creator. Thank you for this. Yes, I've said this too. Energy can't be created or destroyed. So listen more and talk less. Yeah. Look, I agree with you on that. Okay, so let's recap because I've been on here for a while. Unless if y'all have specific things that y'all want to talk about. But I know that the message today was important. Sometimes I don't know exactly how to deliver that, but I know that the poem that The Fear They Sell is on my page, and maybe you need to go back and listen to that again. Know that every poem has a deeper meaning, and it's happening within 3 timelines. So if you can keep that in mind when you do go listen to one of those poems, then and understand it on a deep level and then on a deeper level. So I want to say that this again, if we all have an understanding that the universal law of interconnectedness is existent and that we are all connected to one another, then we have an understanding that we can stop things from happening. We can, our focus and energy and attention, where we place that is extremely important. Our words are important. So all of this is relevant to you as a collective because you need to understand how powerful you are. So, look, I think I've covered everything. Thomas, will you chime in and please just let me know? I try to upload, or if you've thought of anything else. Many of y'all have asked me, I keep calling on Thomas, but he's one of my elders, and he shares the name of my father, and my father has aligned us together. Okay, thank you, Suzanne, for that question. Is there one thing you want us to spread? What is it? I can't... Okay, let me say love, understanding, acceptance. And y'all don't forget to play. Because that's an important thing too. We need to sometimes just laugh and play because that adds positive energy up into the system. Okay, it's just important. I can't explain it. I'm not going to try to explain it in depth today. It's important. Part of it negates the fear reactions. Okay, so that I know it's important to do that. What are the 3 different timelines that are happening right now? What will speed up this ascension? Healing? Yes. Healing and self-acceptance and loving ourselves as much as we love others, and speaking. So the idea can spread. So they're there for others to grab onto. And look, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was very fearful before I started making these videos. I had a lot of reservations before I started speaking for many different reasons. And then it came to a point where I no longer had a choice. It didn't matter who thought I was crazy, or it did. Once I found out that I for sure didn't have brain damage, then I knew my mission and my goal was set in stone, and I could not stray away from it. So everyone has their own journey. I understand that. Thank you, Miss Joan. That's very... Laughter stimulates the vagus nerve, which produces a relaxation and calmness. Thanks. Simple as that. So it may not be on your journey to talk to people about your spiritual awakening or your revelations, or it may not be in your wheelhouse, but our gifts are not our own, and they're meant to be shared with other people. And so whatever that gift is for you, you need to discover it, accept it, and share it. And sometimes we don't even know what our own gifts are because we've had them our entire lives. And I use the analogy, it's the same reason that I didn't know I had synesthesia until I was like a teenager, because I had always had it. And until I said, when are they going to turn the lights down so we can hear the music, because so we can see the music better, someone said, do you mean here? And I said, no, see. So then, you know, you can discover your gifts we all have different ways, and we all have different journeys. But here are some ways that helped me find my gifts. Some people meditate. Some people create, like paint, and journaling in the morning is a very good way to get all those things out. You know, not everybody can meditate. Not everybody is made to sit in one spot and put your thoughts aside, because that never works for some people. And the people who can't do that become overwhelmingly frustrated. Some people walk. Some people do meditative walks and just walk and pace. And then some people listen to music. But I want you to be careful about what you intake. And so there is actually healing music, like I think it's called the Healing House, and that music's good. Classical music is good, but not everybody loves that. But a lot of, okay, we're not going to go into that. A lot of people have gifts. Everyone has a gift. Okay, let's see. Okay. I love y'all. I think we're all good today. I'll try to upload this if you hadn't caught all of it, but y'all are all worthy of healing and connection and love. And I'm here for y'all. If y'all need me, just message me. I love you. Thank you for sharing time and space with me. Bye.